Hello, you silly sausages. What's going on, friends? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you are doing well, mate. Really do hope that. And welcome back to, guess what? Chelsea news. That's right. Every single ruddy day, you, me, here together, reflecting on all the things that are being said about La Chelsea. Giving you my thoughts on it, and more importantly, as always, asking for yours. I feel like the FA Cup shirt needs to get a little shift in there. The old 1970s throwback one. Anyway, today, Armando Broja. Here we go. The Broja saga's over. Out of nowhere. Yeah, so we'll reflect on that a little bit. Javi Simmons, the next superstar, high-profile signing to join the ranks of Chelsea, we hope. Touch word. He's removed, of course, Chelsea, you might have seen from his social media bio, Leipzig, in hoping we could soon see him add Chelsea. He's not training with Leipzig. It looks like it's about to happen. And actually, I want to go a little bit more into him as well and talk about his profile and reference and recommend a video that I watched. So it's going to be a lovely, sweet, soothing, sensual piece of content today. So thanks for joining me. Very grateful to have you here with me. Thanks for strapping in. It's going to be a good video. I can feel it. So thank you for supporting the content as always. You can do so by liking this video. Wherever it's just this side, like it. Yeah, man. And if you are yet to subscribe, why don't you just do it? You know, do people? Because I know YouTube's different now. People don't subscribe like they used to, or maybe you just all hate me. That could also be the truth. You know. But I swear, like as a user as well, I don't subscribe to as many channels as I used to. The algorithm throws them back up. I'm like, hey, it's my guy. He's back. It's a vanity metric, I know, but I am on 197,389 subscribers, and I would just really like to get to 200. 200, and I can rest. Don't you want me to rest? This has gone on for way too long. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Alrighty. Let's talk about this. Boom. Big Fab Romano, Armando Broja on a permanent deal follows Mark Gueule to Sunderland on loan, of course. And, of course, we know Joao Felix has gone to Al Nassr. Chelsea won't stop, with Nkunku and Sterling also expected to leave. Of course, Nico Jackson's situation's open. Javi Simmons and Garnacho both high on the list, or high odds list, which I believe is meant to be on. Now, this concerns me. Javi Simmons, in my eyes, is like about to go over the line, and Garnacho is like a potential down the line market opportunity. So wise man, I'm gonna throw out the mandem roadman terminology. Riddle me this: why is man putting Garnacho in with Javi Simmons? Because that makes me feel uncomfortable. Look, to be honest, I have been pretty firm on this Garnacho situation. If we sign him, I won't really care, if provided it's for a good deal, and because we'll be cool. Do you know what I mean? It's not like when, and this is not me trying to dig out Madueke, but I understood to a degree why the Arsenal fans were like, well, why are we spending 52 million quid on this? I think it was less like we all hate Noni Madueke, and more like, where is Victor Gyökeres? Where is this starting right-footed left winger? Do you know what I mean? This is what the Gunners wanted, seemingly. And I think with us, it would be the other way around, because we would have done everything, and it'd be like, let's get Garnacho, because we're going to get him for like way less than Man United originally demanded. And I could stomach that. But, Javi Simmons is a priority. So let's talk about Broja a little bit. Pour one out for the Albanian superstar's Chelsea career, because he looked, for a while, different gravy granules. He really did, man. And he deserves a moment here. In terms of his... He's 23 years old. He turns 24 next month. Where does time go? So, he was at Chelsea... He was at Tottenham for 2 years. In 2007 to 2009, but Chelsea 2009 to 2020. So basically the entirety of his Chelsea youth career. His youth career was at Chelsea, excuse me. Now, he's only scored 2 goals for Chelsea, Wikipedia tells me, but this might be the Premier League or whatever. He was wicked in the development side. He was big, strong, direct. He could run very fast. And he went to Vitesse. Yes, indeed. He had a successful loan at Vitesse in the 2021 season. The pandemic campaign, I think. And he did well there. And he came back and was like, yeah, I want to play for Chelsea. I went to Vitesse. I did the Mason Mount thing. It worked for him. It's going to work for me. He looked good at Vitesse. This was like the dying embers of the sort of, I suppose, Abramovich-Vitesse link. And then, of course, he goes to Southampton. Now, he doesn't score loads of goals at Southampton, but he looks good in flashes. I think it's probably not the best Southampton team in 21-22 season, but he looks, and everyone starts saying, oh, he's the new Diego Costa. He's the new Diego Costa. And then, of course, ultimately, he wasn't the best loan in the end, but then he had terrible loans at Fulham and Everton. It's a real shame, because you had people who talked about him in training. I remember Raheem Sterling, you know, when everyone was like, oh, is Mudryk the fastest in the Chelsea squad? We saw Mudryk, and he was like this notoriously, you know, speed demon from Ukraine. But he was like Amanda Brewer. And I remember, like, Sterling, and whatever your opinions are on Raheem, he's a good guy, straight talking, and he's seen it all, you know? He's seen it all before, nothing shocks Raz anymore. And he talked about Brewer, and he's like, this kid is the truth. No one's seen him yet, but you should see. He's rapid. Like, you get the ball, and he will absolutely, like, explode, basically. And he was strong. He was big boy. He was throwing people off him. And we were like, yes, Chelsea. Because we've been dealing with, like, what at this point? Tammy was alright, but Tammy was a bit like, he was all sort of knees and elbows, wasn't he? But we'd been dealing with, like, Havertz and Werner. No disrespect to either of them, but, like, at different times playing down the middle. Alvaro Morata. And to his credit, Morata is a good European striker in Italy and for Spain national team. You know, he's played for Real Madrid or whatever. But the truth is, he never felt Chelsea, Morata. Apart from scoring a few headers that Azpilicueta put on his head, he felt a bit, I know it sounds awful, but a little bit soft. Do you know what I mean? But then we got this Brewer, this kid. He's Chelsea. He's come through the academy. You know, I know Tammy did. Tammy felt a bit different in profile. But it's like, right, this could be the next one. The Cobham Great. He's going to push through the Premier League backlines and beat the crap out of them and score goals. You know, he's been Albania's starting striker for the last 5 years, and he's 23 years old. Or, well, he's been playing for them. He's been certainly their starting striker for a little while. So it's a shame. But Chelsea went from a couple of years ago asking for £60 million, then £50 million, and it's been speculated that it might be up to £20 million that he goes for. And to be honest, great. Do you know what I mean? Pure profit in the bank. Lovely stuff. I think he deserved a few minutes because he's gone, and he was like, you know, in the same way we spoke about HudsonOdoi and these kids, he's another one, really. Yeah, a quick word on Gu as well. I've heard lots of people, I've spoken to you guys about him, but yeah, I think it's a great loan. I know lots of people spoke about getting him in the Championship to Ipswich, but I think him playing in the Prem for Sunderland is fine. They made a lot of good signings, and I actually reflect on that as a good piece of business, baby. Let's just hope he just shows he's an undeniable asset, and even if he just scores like 6 Premier League goals out of a few, because he'll get lots of bench. I don't think he'll start. I'll be very happy with that. Right, let's move on and talk about Javi Simmons, baby. Okay, first of all, this coming from Big Fab Rom, Javi Simmons, and this is an exclusive. He did not try. They always want it. It's funny, isn't it? Because they all get briefed, right? They do. Your Matt Laws, your Romanos, your Ben Jacobs. They all get a brief from clubs, and then they all try and get out as quickly as possible, and then say it's an exclusive. This is why I love the likes of David Ornstein, because he doesn't tweet out and like, I get it. Look, I'm glass houses. I'm a content creator. I try and react to news quickly. This is what I do. So yeah. Guilty, Your Honor. Do you know what I mean? But they are ultimately in the journalist, but there's a content creator element of getting there first. I know this before everyone else. But what I like about David Ornstein, not necessarily the Athletic exclusively, but David Ornstein, he just waits. He lurks in the darkness, and he'll come out of an exclusive, but it will be the story. He won't try and like ejaculate tweets out, you know. He'll be like, now here it is. I have this good piece of news. I think he's just like top tier journalism personally. Not that these guys aren't. It's just my preference. And look, again, I'm grateful for these, you know, quick things because I can react to them and show them to you here, and we can all have a bit of fun. Javi Simmons did not train with RB Leipzig on the group on Friday, which was yesterday at time of recording. He's not expected to be part of the squad today. His decision is clearly oriented to Chelsea move to Chelsea after deleting Leipzig from his Instagram bio, which sounds like, you know, nothing, but it is something. There was something they have control with. You see it often in modern day football. A player will remove their employer from their social media, because I guess, like, so they're at advanced stages, negotiations. I guess you don't have like an obligation, because when you sign to a club, there's like they get your image rights to a degree or whatever. I wonder if they say you have to put our club in your Instagram. I wonder if it's because I mean, because it wouldn't surprise me if they did say that, but I wonder if it would be breaching contract otherwise. You know what I mean? Yeah, so he wants to move. Uriel Hato's over the line, his countryman. It's a party over at Chelsea. And, you know, we've just, PSG, your old employers, remember them? We slapped them in the Club World Cup final, 3-0. And we are great fun. It's a party. You want to test yourself? You want to prove the doubt is wrong? Come to the hardest league in the world. Prove your worth. Demonstrate your ability. And rise in the Premier League. Now, I want to recommend to you lovely people this video. Many of you probably watched it, by Adam Clary. I must admit, I was not familiar to this guy until his new YouTube channel, of which is popping off, deservedly so. Excellent content. He released this video why Javi Simmons might be Chelsea's best signing this summer. Clickbaited, it got me in straight away. But it's excellent content. He's a really good football analyst and good editing. So if you want to check it out, do check it out. But it made me think of him a little bit more and slightly differently, because I've watched him on and off, sort of half watching for years, knowing he's a high profile player. I remember him being a PSG player, not really playing, but being on the books. Obviously, he was at PSV for a season, and then, of course, there's Leipzig recently. But I then seen him speak Spanish in interviews, of course, because he's Dutch-born. He is a Netherlands international, but he grew up in Spain, and he's a La Masia product, a Barcelona product. So he's got the sort of Dutch total football blood that went through the schooling of La Masia, and then has played in France and Germany for like footballing education, and he's still only 22. So pretty sweet. The more I learn about Javi Simmons, the more I'm like locked in. I really do recommend that video, but I'm gonna sort of like, you know, I'm sort of aggregating elements of it now. I knew he was more of like just a sort of function. He's not just this attacking player. We've seen him hit absolute howitzer goals, great highlight reels, but he has this functionality that just makes him look absolutely perfect for the left sort of half space, the left pocket, as Maresca calls it, in his system. Now, just to bring up his X value here, look, what's he good at? Assisting, which is great. Shooting's fine. He can score absolute, you know, fantasies, as it were. And really good at ball carrying. No surprise there from a Dutch international La Masia graduate. But really good at recoveries. Yeah, really strong at recoveries. Now, look at his heat map. Now look at the defensive left side. His work rate is incredible. As you can see, predominantly in the offensive half, it is the left pocket. Now, it's not just like a midfielder because it goes to the touchline, but he's not getting to the byline, for example, the top left of this. That would be more of a Jamie Gittins, a conventional winger. He could play on the left and come inside more, and that would, of course, accommodate an overlapping fullback. maybe Cucurella is holding the width and gets forward. Cucurella is trusted to pretty much play anywhere by Maresca. Centre back, left back, midfield, left attacking midfield, you know. So, you know, a Cucurella could overlap down the side and a Javi Simmons could go inside. But what, like, I was really impressed by from the Adam Clary video and just learning a little bit more is his work ethic. And obviously, I'm very, very mindful to, like, relegate Enzo Fernandez to the bench at Chelsea, especially after the season he had, because he was so important, Enzo Fernandez. Not only did he have a career best season in terms of goals and assists, he was great goals and great assists, and he's the vice captain. And in the absence of Reece James, which sadly has been all too often, he was being a leader on the pitch. He fights for Chelsea. He leads. He never gives up. He was part of these comebacks. And that is kind of invaluable. So obviously we're in the Champions League. You know, Enzo Fernandez on all these millions of international breaks, travels to South America, and we overcooked him way too much. Suddenly you've got a guy in Javi Simmons like, yeah, no worries, mate. Just rest. Rotate in, rotate out. Make sure you're ready. Similarly with Caicedo and Dario Sugo. We've got backup, yeah. But Javi Simmons is way more functional than I thought he was. I thought he was this pure attacking midfielder, left winger. So let's look at his FBref here. Ooh, right over here. These are his strengths, yeah. So these are some nice balance from him versus attacking midfielders and wingers. But remember, looking at his heat map, there was a lot of defensive positions as well. So we'll compare him to midfielders in just a moment, because he's not like, you know, comparing him to wingers, like you're adding like your Mohamed Salahs in there. Do you know what I mean? And like these players that are just going to stay right forwards and all they're going to do is attack. So he's got this functionality where it's probably fair to compare him to midfielders as well. But look, he's really good at drawing fouls. Great work, great protecting the ball, good technician. Really good at through balls, goal creating actions that create a shot. Touches in the middle third, very, very, very technically good player. Passes into the penalty area, and then right up there, ball recoveries as well. Like, this is like, you know, he's really, really good defensive work. Now, if we were to think, okay, there's been games for Leipzig where he plays in a 4-4-2 in the left midfield. He does play sometimes midfield, and he doesn't staying it to the byline. And often, you know, just to remind you, look at his heat map. Look, there's a big blodge there in the defensive half. You know, it's slightly more attacking midfielder, but if you're in a dominant team in the Bundesliga, which you could say Leipzig are one of, you're going to play a lot in the opposition half. So you can say there's a functionality to his play as well, akin to a midfielder. So let's compare him to midfielders. And suddenly, obviously his goals and assists are right up there because there'll be some defensive midfielders. Look, the 99th percentile goes all the way down right until take-ons attempted. 4.5 dribbles attempted per game, but it's suddenly looking like an absolute beast. You know, goals and assists, non-penalty goals, progressive carries, unsurprisingly a great dribbler, shots on target, expected goals, non-penalty goals, expected goals, passes into the penalty area. But you can see it for yourself there. Really, really high and strong metrics, which has got me thinking, wow, very exciting indeed. That's why I recommend to you the Adam Clary Football Channel video on young Javi Simmons, because I'm very, very excited about this now looking at him. But it's tough. Will he play, I suppose, at times on the left wing, on the left side of an Enzo Fernandez, in that left number 8? Maybe. If and when he signs, and hopefully he signs, touch wood, we can maybe have a bit of fun and do a tactics board video and do stuff like that. But and go from there. So yeah, man, I put it up to you guys. Let me know what you think. Please do leave your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, I'll thank you for supporting my content by liking and subscribing. And if you do enjoy my content and you've reached the end, it means you might like the second channel, Football Yannick, where there's also daily content regarding football. It's my opinions, Chelsea fan Yan, as you know, but on other clubs. So if you think you might like that, I'd urge you to search Football Yannick on YouTube and go subscribe. Alternatively, there'll be a link in the top of the description. Other than that, my dear sweet friends, keep it locked. See you soon. Enjoy the football. Peace.